Morning, my name is Nathalia Rizki Najmina. I want to explain part A. Currently, many issues of violence on television are often debated. Many people are concerned that this violence show can make viewers more aggressive. So most people believe that should be a limit on to violence on television. For example, TV programs that broadcast professional workplace. Many people feel that individuals should be able to choose what they want to watch on TV, but others believe that television violence is unlikely to affect people behavior. Some people believe that children who watch the program may imitate the action of the wireless and this can cause serious injury. For example, watch TV program showing weapons. Another concern than some have is that can make people less sensitive to the effects of violence. In other words, people who watch TV violence can may no longer be startled by act of violence which they become quite tolerant, and some people don't believe that the violence on television tends to have detrimental effect. They point out that many horrific acts of violence occurred long before television. Also argue that people can tell the difference between television and real life. Psychologists have conducted several research studies on the effect of violence television, which have shown that children who watch a lot of violence TV become slightly more aggressive as adults. Finally, several other studies found trace of homicide, homicide tended to increase slightly in the days following a television boxing match, with almost all psychologists now agreeing that television violence does contribute to aggressive behavior in everyday life. The issue of violence on television is difficult because it's a behavior uh, conflict between public security and individual freedom. Some people feel that violent TV should be limited because it can be bad for society, but there are also that feel that individuals should be free to watch program TV they like. Part B. One of the things that different public art from museum and gallery space is that art in the city indefinitely available that you can be drawn into while you are on vacation or taking a stroll. And one of her favorite place to find actual public arts is at MRT station, which is where you can see new works every time you get off at new station. And one of the other things too you might notice is that in terms of material, so public art should be on the outside, but has to be made of something denser, a little more permanent. One of the things she liked about public arts is ability to decide specific relevant to the space in it, and you get something new information about it. And this means that you whenever you look at a space there is a work of art there, you might not notice something new or fun that you have not seen before. Honestly, as long as you take a walk in the center or in heritage site like Glam Village, Little India, or Chinatown, you will find sculpture or murals or painting of a public nature and a work of art. The phenomenal bird, literally a giant bird, and sit right there on the banks of the Singapore River. This is what uh, really interesting because people react to it in very different ways. Some people just go over it and comment on its size, volume, weight, so very heavy looks quite majestic because it's bigger than all of us, but it also you wonder why there are birds by the river, and of course is natural sight we see daily. One of the things about this bird is meant to represent peace and prosperity. A sculpture by artist Chong Pachon, who is one of Singapore pioneering sculptor. It was created in 2000 and featured five boys on one of who is far below jumping into the river. It captured memory the Chumpachong along the Singapore River used to see of children jumping in and playing and swimming in the water, something we don't really see anymore today. So it brings us back to a different time in Singapore when the river was a bustling source of life, but in a very different way that it's also today. One of the things that I really like about uh, this space is you can see every detail on the face on the children up close and can see how excited they are jumped into the river, and it's very dynamic piece of work that is very different from several types of structure. The most robust you see when you walk along the street and try to find public arts. For part C, candy, ice cream, cake, brownie are food that she wanted to eat when she was little. Maybe even now. I used to love. She loved. She used to love this food with delicacy and happiness. But now, what comes to her mind is only image of our food that will make her stomach extra large in her arms, legs, mouth, and feet. They are all part of her body. When she was a kid, she took of it as a part that helped me to run far, to help her to run fast, eat food, and exercise. But now she seemed to be able to find flaws in every part of herself. Her name is Emily Nihol, and she going to talk about American standard, the way we view our bodies is constantly changing and is different for everyone. She was lucky enough and frankly thin enough to not to have negative looks about her body, cross her body, her mind until she entered high school. Are you anorexic? She was asked at first, and she was just confused. Then she realized something was wrong with her, and it seemed like everyone wanted uh, what she what she had. And now she told that her body is unwanted, confusing, but this is was construct her mind because of the constant and enforcement from other people. Everyone has perception of their own body being good, bad, self-confident, insecure society is what shaped these views and is almost entirely perpetuated through social media. Since we live in the age of social media, it's really hard to not to fall victim to models and celebrity who promote certain body types. Now, many young women are advised to have small waist, beautiful face, and big butt. But you also have to upper natural who can live up to this untenable standard. The image and expectation we all see from a very young age begin to shape our view of what our deal is or what we should be. Basically, all young people have various insecurity about their bodies. For some, it's more intense, and for others, it's just insecurity here and there. Regardless, insecurity affects all of us, affect how we look into mirror when we wear our clothes, when we take picture, and just when we are away during the day. They make the feeling less than make us diet, and sometimes they even make us starve or freeze when we don't follow our body's forward. They give us advice, but on the contrary, how do we start to treat it badly? I think most people take their bodies for granted. Thank you.